let's get to the larger picture then. If baseball is having a renaissance in the following, okay, Cubs break their jinx in their streak and they finally win. But you also have the Astros and the Royals winning the World Series along with the Giants in the last couple of years, right? And why would baseball, want to have as a narrative a team that is just selling everything off? Why would they allow a team to be purchased when they clearly are? They're apparently looking for. I read on your site, on your article, $250,000 maybe of more funding. Why would baseball allow
$250 million?
$250 million, right? $250 million.
Yep.
Why would they allow this trade to go through? Period. If they knew that the person who's buying it potentially is going to burn it down to the ground to try and make their money back. Why would baseball go through with this?
I think there are two answers to that question. The first, we need to look back at what Major League Baseball's motivations were here. Jeffrey Loria was the worst owner in baseball for a long time, and that's saying something when Frank McCourt was an owner in Major League Baseball as well.
Okay.
And I think I think Major League Baseball saw Derek Jeter as this paragon of virtue and somebody who has been successful in all walks of life and who survived New York for 20 years with nary a bad word being said about him. And their calculus was that if Derek Jeter can be an owner of this team, he's going to bring a measure of class, respectability, and just altogether competence otherwise that they haven't had there in a long time. And that's what has shaken officials at MLB right now. They're looking at this and they're saying to themselves, what the hell have we gotten into? Jorge Mas was there to buy the Marlins. He's a guy who is a Miami native, who has ties in the community, who really could have repaired the relationships that inside of Miami have just been torched by Loria. But Jorge Mas also saw something, and that was the Marlins books, and their financials are an absolute disaster. And he said, I'm not going to pay $1.2 billion for this. So in Major League Baseball's eyes, getting $1.2 billion for the Marlins and getting Derek Jeter was better than getting a guy who long-term probably would have been the right person to own that team. They were taking a risk in going with Derek Jeter, and it's a risk that at this point has not paid off yet and that they're hoping can be salvaged. But the big question about Derek Jeter, let's remember, at the end of his career when he was a bad shortstop, Derek Jeter still thought he was really good. At the end of his career when he did not belong in the two-hole in the Yankees lineup, he still believed that he was a two-hole hitter. And that is part of what made him such a great player. It was just this blind faith that you are going to be great. And I still think he sees that, but ownership is a lot different than being a Major League Baseball player. The skill set, it requires human touch. It requires the ability to glad hand. It requires all the things that Derek Jeter, frankly, disdained as a player. So he needs to learn that. He needs to acknowledge that, yes, maybe this has been a little bit overwhelming at the beginning, but there's room to learn, to grow, and to become the type of owner that I think he's capable of.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.